Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look here at Bloktopia, and just before we do, we usually look at Bitcoin, but I can summarize it in one word, 61,000. That's pretty much all it's done for 36 hours. It's very, very boring. I don't know what else to call it. It's stunning the growth for a lot of altcoins, so it's unfortunate, but it's cool to see coins like this taking off regardless of what Bitcoin's doing, right? That being said, I'm not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only. You should do your own research at all times. And just know, if you are new to the channel, you should check out my Patreon community because I have a trading group slash community slash signal. It's a really cool situation. I actually send out signals for every single trade that I take, and I'm able to help teach people how to become better traders. What's better than that, right? So it's a super cool situation. Check that out. It's a great, great community. You'd be impressed with how awesome the people really are. They're very supportive. Cool situation. So regardless, we're going to take a look here at the 1-day chart first and work our way down, right? Because every good trader should look at the big picture first and effectively, digress from there, right? So simply put, we've got on the 1-day candlestick, we can see a pretty strong support level right around, I'm going to summarize right around 7.8 cents, right? So we'll just move this up here so we can have that as a potential support level. And then of course we got the all-time high up here as well at about 17 cents. So we got this big 10-cent range essentially, where the price action jumped way up, came back down, right? We got the, I wouldn't say that's 3 white soldiers. That was kind of like 2.5, but you typically can find a red day on the fourth candlestick for a series of 3 green days. Usually you'll see a 4th candlestick that's red, and that's kind of what happened there. That kind of started this downward spiral. But for lack of better terms, Bitcoin's pretty much been doing this same pattern this whole week too, right? So that's in its defense, that's what's going on. Anyway, it's not like we need to defend it, but bottom line here is RSI is back under 70. That's a very good sign. We need to see that. That's important. Looking at the 4-hour chart, let's see what's going on with the moving averages. Well, we've only got the 50 to work with such little data, but in this scenario, it is working effectively as a resistance. We'll see if there's a possibility of it breaking through eventually here soon, but for right now, we can consider the 4-hour chart, the 50-day SMA, as a very strong resistance level. RSI is under 50 on the 4-hour chart. I don't like to see this. I typically like to see it above. So, just note if you're taking entry, there's a chance that this could work as a resistance level, which would probably be somewhere along the lines of where the price is at right now. In fact, I'd be willing to guess that price is right where Fibonacci retracement lines are, because it happens a lot when it comes to, okay, it's pretty close, but you can see, okay, no, I was wrong. It's right on line. So that's good and bad, right? Good in the sense that, that I was right, but bad in the fact that that's going to probably be working as a resistance level. So unless the price can break above 9.4 cents on the 1-day candlestick more specifically, then we can consider this to be a resistance level. Okay, so there's a good chance the price might continue on, over here and then eventually break out. Or if it closes above here today, that could work as a support level, and then it could break upwards too. There's a few different scenarios, obviously, that could play out, but the bottom line here is that is somewhat of a support and resistance level. But right now, presently considered a resistance at 9.4 cents. Okay. Now, while we're on the Fibonacci retracement, let's just go ahead and mark a couple more resistance and support levels. Pretty obvious one here at about that's 11.2 cents. And we've got a resistance at about 15.3. So we'll go ahead and work with that for now. In fact, one last thing we should mark as a 0.5. The halfway point for Fibonacci is a pretty common support and resistance zone, so I like to use that as well. So these are kind of the lines, the channels that we have here so far. But bottom line, we got a lot of room for improvement, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're out of the clear just yet, because obviously there's some major resistance levels ahead. And let's take a look at the 1-hour chart and kind of see what kind of momentum we have. We do have potential here to see another 5 hours of bullish momentum, right? There's a potential for that, just based on the simple fact that we're about 4 hours in to the TD sequential, and there could be another sequence of 5 more bullish candlesticks, right? Again, it's getting stopped out right there at the support resistance level, so we'll see how that works out. But bottom line, that's kind of what we're looking at for now. And let's go ahead and see where we're at in the cloud. We're within the cloud. So here's something to note. When you're within the cloud, it's considered a no-buy zone, right? You're not supposed to buy. And oftentimes that's just because it's usually in a state of consolidation when it enters that, and it's trying to establish if it's getting, it's going to be working as a resistance or a support level. So more often than not, when the price is below, it's considered a sell signal because the price is going to get effectively rejected and keep pushing down. right? But that's why when you break the cloud, it's kind of that shift in momentum. It's very similar to the MACD convergence, where the 12-day EMA intersects with a 26 in an upward fashion. You get that shift in momentum from bearish to bullish. That's effectively what the cloud does too. It's just kind of forecasting that for you. But what I'm getting at here is that the price being in the cloud, you probably shouldn't add to your position right now. And I get the question a lot, well, why not add to your position if the price is going to go through there anyways? Well, that's true, but we don't know it's going to go through there yet, right? This could be a very strong resistance and push the price down even further. I like to wait for confirmation personally. More often than not, I'll wait for the price to break above the cloud and use that as kind of a foundation. But it's not the only thing you need to make a decision on, okay? Trust me on this, there's a lot more that goes into it than just the cloud. But that kind of helps us understand that we're in the no buy zone right now. And obviously the price is getting rejected by a potential resistance. Okay, until it breaks above, still considered a resistance. So let's go ahead and just shoot on up and see what's going on with the big picture here. And let's see if we have some type of great potential for this coin. I mean, I know every coin has great potential, right? But if this were to break to the upside, for example, and break its all-time high of about what 17.8 cents, then obviously the best case scenario we were looking at is about 31 cents. Okay, and what I'm doing, I'm pretty much just taking this time frame here and moving it up, right? So I would just grab that. It'd basically be one of these. Okay. Now I know that's kind of ugly, but that's essentially what Fibonacci does. It just basically takes the same exact, parameters and applies that to the higher point. In other words, we should see, I would say more realistically, within a month's time, right around 28 cents if this continues to recover. Okay. Again, we don't know that yet, still a little premature, but if you're going to consider adding to your position, now's not a terrible time, just based on the simple fact that we're close to support. It's reiterated itself as a strong support level here at about 8 cents, or just a little bit under 7.9. And the likelihood of it coming down and breaking that is fairly low, just based on that kind of being a resistance zone previously. But bear in mind, stranger things can happen. And this coin is, at least on this exchange, it's fairly new. So that being said, I'd be cautiously optimistic. Set your stop loss closer to the previous high, right around what I would say 6.6 cents to be safe, and then maybe consider adding to your position, and hoping for the price to come up to the upside. And I say hope because obviously we still don't truly know. There's not a tremendous amount of bullish indicators here that I see, but there's not a lot of bearish ones either, right? It's kind of more so neutral, and that's a good sign. I would say more so than one way or the other, right? So to me, I like the position of where it's at. I do think it will break to the upside eventually, but we have to kind of wait and see how it responds to this resistance level of right around, again, 9.6 cents is a pretty close approximate for that resistance level. Okay. And I'll just make a nice line for that guy. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. Okay. So Bloktopia, 1 month's time, could be in pretty good shape. We could see somewhere in the range of, what was it? What was the, oh yeah, 31 cents is, I would say, a best case scenario for a month out. Will it hit that? We need to see it break its all-time high first. That's pretty much the bottom line. If it can break its all-time high, closing the one-day candlestick above, right around 17.8 cents, then yes, there's a strong chance we'll be able to see that by month end. But for now, don't get too ahead of yourself, right? We're not out of the woodwork yet. So thank you so much for joining me here, of course. Feel free to reference my Patreon community. Really appreciate you checking that out, of course. But more importantly, thanks again for watching. I really do greatly appreciate you, my subscribers, everyone that pretty much is part of the CryptoCache community. Is a really awesome, amazing scenario, and I can tell you that 6 months ago I would have never guessed we'd be here by now. Okay, so thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you then. Take care.